Welcome back. The deepening border crisis, Customs and Border Protection releasing new numbers showing more than 180,000 migrants crossing the southern border apprehended in May alone. Crossings have exploded, up 674% in just 1 year, May to May. Joining me right now is Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. Mark, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being with us. Of course, Arizona is a border town. What are you seeing in terms of the border activity and its impact in your state?
Well, it's been devastating, and this is one of the reasons why we have so many lawsuits against the Biden administration, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that the federal judge here in Arizona will force the Biden administration to start deporting people, including those with criminal records. But as you noted, there's been this huge spike, and it's overwhelming our system in so many ways. It's affecting not only Arizona taxpayers, but all American taxpayers. We know that it's affecting law enforcement, and we know the cartels are exploiting the situation. And the number that we should be even talking more about is fentanyl seizures. We know that there's been a dramatic increase, nearly 6,500 pounds, even from last year. So it's not just people that are crossing the border illegally, it's the cartels making money and sending drugs into our country that's going to destroy lives and neighborhoods.
Oh, I know that. 90,000 people have overdosed just in the last year, and it is largely due to fentanyl. That fentanyl is coming over the border. We've reported pretty extensively on this. We've got a lot going on in Arizona. There is an epic audit going on in Maricopa County. What can you tell us about the audit happening right now in Arizona regarding the 2020 election?
You know, Maria, I'm a big supporter or big believer in the rule of law and separation of powers. And so legally, you know, we have supported the Senate's right to conduct the audit. But I've said from the beginning, you know, as a prosecutor, your job is to wait till you get all the facts and evidence before, you know, weighing in and saying what someone's doing or not doing is right or wrong. And so I'm going to wait till our office gets all the facts and evidence, gets the final report from the Senate before weighing in or, you know, kind of telling them what they should or shouldn't have done.
What's your timing on that, General? When do you expect you'll get all of the facts from this ongoing audit?
You know, I'm not sure. It's the Senate's audit, and they're the ones doing the investigation. So they will ultimately make the determination and the decisions as to, you know, what happened or didn't happen. I think that all Americans, though, take election integrity seriously. In fact, you may know, or your viewers may know, Maria, that there's a case right now pending at the U.S. Supreme Court called Brnovich v. DNC that I personally argued trying to preserve the right of states to set time, place, and manner restrictions on voting to ensure that every vote counts and that there's no shenanigans when it comes to voting. And so we're looking forward to that case, and we're obviously pushing back against the attempt by Washington, D.C. to nationalize our elections.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the H.R. 1 bill that Nancy Pelosi is pushing. You have an ongoing lawsuit against Google. Let's talk about the lawsuits alleging censorship and collecting information. You say Google is collecting location information even when users have turned off the tracking. Tell us about your lawsuit and what you found there.
You know, we were the first state to sue Google in state court, and Google has done everything they can to not only stop us, but also prevent any information from going public. So the lawsuit is ongoing, but as a result of discovery and some of the depositions we've done, we've uncovered evidence that even people at Google were worried about what they were doing, the information they were collecting, and literally there's email chains amongst the engineers there talking about that they don't want this stuff to end up in the media or on the front page of the New York Times because we would submit that what they know what they're doing is systematically wrong. They're invading the privacy of every American. And most importantly, Maria, it's the fact that people think they're opting out or that Google's not collecting this information. You don't want them to collect this information, but they do. They're collecting all this granular information about where you go, how long you're there, who you're with, you know, whether you're at the doctor, what type of doctor. And all this information is used basically to market, target, and ultimately manipulate you. And that's why it's so problematic. We just want to make sure that when it comes to Arizona consumers or consumers all over this country, that big tech is doing the right thing legally and make sure that they're providing accurate information to individuals. And if people want to opt out, they should be able to opt out.
Yeah, well, there's also the censorship issue, and we continue to see social media act as if they are the arbiters of truth by censoring things, telling us what we can and we cannot see. And so far, all of it has been wrong. Wrong. Yeah. Whether it's the Russia hoax, whether it's impeachment, whether it's all of this about President Trump, We had the IG report today, yesterday rather, saying that it was not the fault of President Trump, the January 6th situation at the Capitol. And now we're going to talk with Marco Rubio in a few minutes. We have these unearthed emails between Facebook and Anthony Fauci discussing what to censor about the origins of COVID. I mean, will you be able to do anything about this dominance of social media?
Yeah, we're actually involved in several lawsuits. Our office is involved in several. So we have lawsuits. We have a lawsuit going on in state court alleging that violations of our Consumer Protection Act. But I'm also part of a multi-state lawsuit alleging antitrust violations of Google. And those allegations involve the fact that, Google is manipulating us. And not only that, they're manipulating the ad market. And what they're doing, and by the way they control so much, is they've become anti-competitive. And essentially, when they buy up companies like, Google buys up Fitbit and they buy these other companies, they're squashing competition. And furthermore, that's allowing them to collect more and more information about every individual. And when you get that information, we know it's power. And that then allows these big tech companies to manipulate you and control you and nudge you in certain directions. So I think whether you're a Republican or Democrat,
I know, it's unbelievable.
People fundamentally understand that this is a problem in our country.